You're listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro, where we share topics that will inspire business growth and help you stay ahead of advances in technology before they become mainstream. This episode is sponsored by Ingram Micro Xvantage, the game-changing platform that will transform your business potential and reshape how customers see you. Just less than a year ago, Ingram Micro launched its digital platform Xvantage, aimed at providing everything a partner needs to grow their business at their fingertips. According to IDC, simply put, Xvantage is Ingram Micro's digital twin that brings everything partners and vendors need to operate their business at their fingertips. Now, Xvantage is available for vendor partners, providing valuable insights into their business from a single source of truth. My next guests, John Fago and Craig Weir, both have years of channel experience. And as executive directors of Ingram Micro's Digital Operations Group, both are now leading the Xvantage evolution for our partner ecosystem. John has spent years focused on Ingram Micro's successful engagement with partners and vendors, and now with Xvantage, John oversees vendor engagement and sees Xvantage, and I quote, a channel game changer for vendors, reducing the barriers to market and opening the doors to opportunity. Craig is responsible for the strategy, development, and adoption of Xvantage. With over 20 years of IT channel experience, Craig is passionate about customer success and the behavioral shift required to deliver and accelerate it. Let's dig in. We're here at the Global Cloud and Innovation Summit in Las Vegas, and today on main stage, our Chief Digital Officer, Sanjeeb Sahu, made some pretty big announcements. But I've got two people here that really know a thing or two about our platform, Xvantage. I'm joined by Craig Weir and John Fago. And Craig, I've got a question for you. So today, Sanjeeb announced the launch of Cloud on Xvantage. What does this mean and how big is this?
Nina, this is massive. The idea that we can now have everything a customer wants, a one platform, one experience, and one pane of glass is unheard of. It doesn't exist in the industry today. And to really get it down, a partner does a million things every day. And if they can have one source location to hire a notebook, software, subscriptions, warranties, services, all in the single procurement process, manage and track it, provision it, all in one pane of glass is amazing. This is going to change the industry. And this is the first step in that journey to go down that road.
Fantastic. Do we have, you talk to our partners all the time. What are the partners saying?
You know what? The partners, it's really interesting because Xvantage has really changed how they do business. It's not an e-commerce platform. It's not just to buy and sell. It's really to help manage their business. So partners today are really starting to understand the power of the tool to take time and energy out of their business and automate it, and then change how they approach business to spend more time on high value, high profit functions. So the cloud announcement, which came today, we actually launched it quietly yesterday. We had a couple purchases already go through. So customers are starting to realize what they can do with this technology.
Wow, that's amazing. John, you've been here a long time at Ingram Micro. Xvantage has been launched in remarkable speed. But tell me, what does this mean? What does this mean for Ingram and what does it mean for the channel?
Well, it means a great deal, not just about what we're building, but also really how we're operating. You know, when you think about the process that we're in and evolving the company that we are, it requires a level of speed. You know, speed to answer the needs of our vendors and our customers, but also to evolve our team in a way that allows us to, kind of tee up the traditional distribution environment in a much more meaningful way. So there's a sense of urgency around us kind of rising to that occasion. Sanjeeb has brought a level of mindset here for us that we're all wrapping ourselves around. It's allowing us to accomplish more. It's allowing us to move faster, and we really are seeing some great results on that front from the associates. So it's been a really great journey. And, I'm really looking forward to what's next.
Amazing. So just for everyone's knowledge, Xvantage was launched only last June in beta, and then last September, it was launched in the US, and now it's expanding around the world. How many countries?
14 countries right now.
14 countries. That is incredible. Also, how is this impacting our vendor ecosystem?
It's really been quite eye-opening, to be honest with you. We spent so much time on the customer end of the conversation, as we should. As you heard from Paul this morning, we really have spent a considerable amount of our time wrapping ourselves around the customer and their needs. That's the demand side. For us to be a true platform and marketplace environment, we need to make sure that we're doing an appropriate job of also addressing the supply side, which is where our vendors come into play. So this is for our vendor community. It's going to give them the opportunity to get the right insights, see the business much more quickly, respond to the business much more quickly, and take ourselves out of the friction of, the tactical activity that goes along with a very complicated environment of large Ingram Micro, large customers, and also large vendors. So it will allow us to really pivot to more time and effort and energy spent on, end results and business cases versus managing spreadsheets and tactics.
Yeah, and I'll jump in because like John and I've been with the company for a long time, and we've spent most of that time with the vendor side and the communities. And I was speaking with some vendors last night about Xvantage for vendors. And as you start to explain what it is and what it can do, you see the light bulb start to go on. And after this, we're jumping into a session, and I think we're going to blow their minds to see what we can do today that is literally unheard of in the industry.
Can you give us a sneak peek at what they're going to get?
Certainly. We have already launched the vendor platform in 3 of our countries, the US, Canada, and Germany. And in today's session, we're going to talk about the functionality that we've already released. You think about what's in the platform today. Insights, performance and insights is certainly the first, big thing that our vendors are going to find value in. It's the immediate ability to kind of see the business as it's happening. How are my revenues doing? How are my partner counts doing? Am I growing in my individual categories of the business? So performance and insights is certainly an immediate area of value. The other area of value that they'll see is what we're doing around order status and tracking, them being able to see their orders, just like our customers can see the flow of their orders in the system. And then I would say we're also going to really double click on an industry first today, which is our ability to actually do automated data ingestion. Today, specifically, we're going to focus on how we do that with catalog, which is quite an extensive manual process today. We're going to show them how we've kind of automated those steps of bringing their data into Ingram Micro and then publishing it in a very effective, efficient manner onto X4C for our customers.
That's amazing. Craig, I have a question for you. Paul Bay said today we're moving from transaction to interaction. Can you expand on that and what that means?
Yeah, it's a great line. And let's put it this way. So Nina, you have a cell phone. How much of the time do you spend on that cell phone actually making phone calls?
Ooh.
Like maybe a couple of minutes a day. Yeah. So you spend a lot of your time checking emails, ordering pizza, your groceries, you name it. The phone's become your consumer platform. And the demands on the market today, we're all people. We all want what we get at home in the office. Whether you're a vendor, whether you're an associate, whether you're a customer. So you think about that interaction. It's not about buying something. We don't buy something because it's the cheapest thing. We don't buy something. We buy it for the entire experience. And that's what we actually crave for. I don't order pizza now unless I can do it through an app because I don't want to have to call and maybe check my order. I want to know where it is, what's going on, have my credit card saved on file, have my repeat purchase ready to go. It's the experience that I'm willing to pay for. So the experience is really where it comes from. We've leaned in heavily to really focus on the customer experience. What do they demand in their consumer world? How do we bring that to the B2B side of this and follow that through all the way down to the end customer?
Isn't it amazing the evolution of all of this? Because truthfully, 10, 12 years ago, I would have never thought about getting in the car with a stranger, right? Never would have thought about it. But for the convenience, all day long, every day, I will, right?
Yep.
And then the other line I heard Sanjeev say today, I don't want to Monday my Sunday, right? I want to be able to not have to spend the time tracking, looking for things, whatever. I can just hit the ground running on Monday from a single pane of glass. And that's really, really critical. So talk to me a little bit more about that single pane of glass and how customizable that is based on both the customer and the vendor experience.
Yeah, I'll lead in with just maybe an additional context point from the following question, which is it's not just about what we're doing or what you would do in your personal life, but in the experience certainly, but it's also about You want an experience that's speaking to you and your function and your role and you specifically along the way as well. So I think a lot of what we're also really pivoting towards is a more persona-based, custom fit, built around you and your needs and experiences and who you are, much like your experience with Netflix, right? My content on Netflix that gets served up is going to be very different than yours, based on your interests and things like that. And so we're doing that here, and I think that's an important part of this process as well.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It's the relevance. And I think too, it's the experience of, if from a vendor side, if we can give them more insights into what's happening to the minute, to the day, which they previously don't get today. If we can give that customer the same kind of insight, same kind of intuition about their business, about the channel, about benchmarking, it's that engagement that really changes the interactions that we have with one another.
Incredible. So what's next? Crystal ball, next 6 months to a year. What are we looking at?
Secret sauce time.
Yes. Well, I can tell you with certainty, the team will be hard at work at getting adoption to happen across the globe. We have quite an aggressive schedule as to how we're going to make X4V, Xvantage for our vendors available around the globe. I know they're doing the same with the customer side of things. So that's one thing. The second thing is further and further and deeper and more intentional integration, so that we can really emphasize what we have here, which is a true end-to-end singular environment and ecosystem that begins with, customer needs, and it attaches itself all the way back to vendors and programs and how those things shake hands in the environment. So I'd say those two things are going to be important.
Hey, just to add to that too, outside of world domination, which we can all say is going to happen, I'll say too, it's the ability to change the mindset of our customers, which it's not a tool. It's not an e-commerce platform. We want our customers to truly adopt to help run their business. So you start thinking of really fun ideas. So what if tomorrow you can finance anything on the marketplace in the click of a button? What if tomorrow you have PSA functionality to integrate with the services that you're buying on the marketplace? We're looking at every single country worldwide having access to all the tools and resources, full adoption, to the point where at the end of the day, we give people more time to spend the time what they want to spend on, not what they need to spend it on.
Any last thoughts before we close?
I would just end with this is an incredibly large moment for Ingram. It's an incredibly large moment for our associates, our vendors, and certainly our customers. But it's a huge pivot from a channel and an industry perspective. Moving away from just the flow of a transaction to really solutions and an ecosystem. And that's a much more meaningful environment for all of us. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah. I would say I would challenge everyone, including our associates, ourselves, our vendors, our customers, is to start consuming the platform. Give us feedback. We've made comments on stage about we will stumble, we will fail. And that's a good thing because we're learning and we're going to adapt and it's always going to evolve. So continue to lean in, continue to challenge yourself, continue to challenge us to do more and do better every single day. And let's do this together. It's a partnership.
Thank you so much, John and Craig, for joining us today. I can tell you, as an associate of Ingram Micro, I've been with Ingram for over 9 years, that the energy is palpable within the company, the excitement around where we're going and what we're doing. So thank you both for contributing to this great movement, this evolution. So excited to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been listening to Ingram Micro's B2B Tech Talk. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this episode and you want to continue the conversation online, use hashtag B2B Tech Talk.